again, I think you really got to tune into you and feel into like, what is it here? Why are you asking for someone, I feel like, that's of lower vibration than you? Because there's no reason why someone can't tell you the details of their life. My boyfriend often goes out in the evening with friends and doesn't tell me where he's going or what he's doing, and sometimes doesn't text when he gets home. Am I off thinking this is unacceptable? Is he cheating on me? Yeah, kind of interesting, isn't it, that this comes right off of that last question, and I'm not intentionally trying to link them, but energetically, I feel like there is a link here that is all about transparency, that sometimes people don't share because of their own wounds, their own issues, their own wounds from previous relationships. What we want to do, though, is uncover those. And if someone isn't interested in uncovering and letting go of wounds, then they're probably not going to be in a place that you're going to grow with them exponentially. You might have a little fun, you might have, great romance, but if they're not willing to work with you, I'm feeling like you are someone, because most people that tune in here are on a spiritual awakening journey and they are looking for more soulful relationships. So I'm feeling, like he is definitely not being transparent, and that, there's emotional infidelity that can happen. And I feel like that's what's happening here, is that he's not making himself emotionally available to you. And sometimes, honestly, that just takes time, and that's fair. So time is helpful because we want to get to know someone before we can dive deep or share. Not everyone is so good at just, diving in and sharing their deepest, darkest fears in life. And that's okay. But if they're not willing to be there with you in this beautiful space where you're wanting to help each other work through some things, then that's a bit trickier. And I think you really want to take a step back and just say, I would just ask the questions. And I'm kind of thinking you've done this already, that you've asked the questions about, because you're saying he doesn't say where he's going, what he's doing, asking the basics. Like, well, what is it that you're not feeling comfortable to share that with me? And if he comes back and says, oh, well, you just don't need to know, like, that's too controlling, or, I want my freedom or whatever, then I think you need to feel into, like, where is your relationship? Are you newly dating? I don't think you mentioned that. Or have you been dating for a long time? And so there's sort of going to be that time frame too, that I think is going to give you some data points. But yeah, you want someone right out of the gate that wants to tell you where they're going. Feel into, like, well, am I being overly, not protective, but overly needing to know? Because there is that. Sometimes it is us, but a lot of times it's not, because it's just easy. If it were a girlfriend, she would tell you. She'd say, hey, I'm going here, or I'm hanging out with these friends, or I'm doing that. So think of it maybe in that term as well. Like, if you had friends, they would tell you. They would, girlfriends, they would tell you what they were doing and where they were going. And it wouldn't feel like someone's making you feel like you're asking for too much. So feel into that feeling of, why are they asking or saying things to you that are making you feel like you shouldn't be asking? Because if it's a genuine question that you have, then I think they should be willing to answer it. It's basic stuff. I don't know if he's cheating on you. It might be emotional infidelity, whether it's, his own emotions that he's not being honest with you. But it also feels like there's probably other women that are friends, but they might be friends with benefits. They might be friends that he's wanting to get the attention from. And that's a slippery slope and not something you want to be part of. If a man can't let go of the other women in his life, then that's not a man you want to be with. If you can't go and meet with anyone that he's meeting with, then it's not someone you want to be with. It's because that's not a relationship that is clean between him and the other person. You should be able to take your partner around. Now, again, I don't know how long you've been dating, so I'm not saying, like, if you've only been dating for 2 weeks that he needs to introduce you to everyone because you're both still exploring. But I'm feeling like this is a little bit longer relationship. Again, I think you really got to tune into you and feel into like, what is it here? Why are you asking for someone, I feel like, that's of lower vibration than you? Because there's no reason why someone can't tell you the details of their life. That's the beauty of relationships, is that we get to share our life experiences with another person, not out of obligation, but because we just genuinely want to say like, hey, here's how my day went. Here's what I did. Here's where I went. And here's what I experienced. And if someone's not willing to share those life experiences with you, then I don't think that they're the type of person that you want to build a foundation even with. And I guess the other thing that's coming is cut the cords early. Oftentimes, and I'm going to say this sort of generally speaking, and I'm sorry because I know there's a lot of men out there that are very conscious, and so forgive me, but a lot of times women are more ahead of the game, and we wait around a long time for men to grow up, for men to emotionally grow up. And if they're not willing to put their foot in, and they're not willing to take the steps on their own, and sometimes it's just baby steps, that's all we need from them. But if they're not doing the baby steps, then let them go early, because the entanglement only gets deeper and more difficult to get out of later. And you end up being the crazy one because you're the one that has the greater awareness and the greater mindfulness, and you're able to see the landscape of what's happening, and they're just playing a game. So if that doesn't resonate for you, it's okay. It might be something for the collective, but I do feel that now is the time that a lot of, again, I'm going to say light workers, way showers, more advanced beings, ones that have done a lot of the work, are spending way too much time in lower vibrational energy fields trying to pull someone along. If they're willing to do the work, great. They can walk right next to you. They don't have to be where you are, but they're willing to do the walk with you and do the talk with you. If they're not, then let them go, because there's someone else out there that wants to play those games with them that's going to be a much better fit. And because you care so much and you're going to give so much and you're willing to share so much with them, you're the one that's going to end up feeling really depleted, and they're just going to go on to the next one. Just feel into what it is that you need to heal to not attract people who aren't willing and ready to dive in with you, because that is the fun part of relationships, is to dive deep and to get into that sacred soul space and to experience unity with another, with your beloved. So I wouldn't waste the time, I guess, is ultimately what I'm saying, is move quickly and communicate, share your needs. And if they're not able to respond, or they're not able to let it sink in, or they're whatever it is, then just let them go, because the time is now for us to keep ascending. The time is now for us to keep growing. The time is now to keep shining the light and helping others move out of this very chaotic time. And it's the chaos of the mind. So I know I went off on a little bit of a dissertation there, but I think it's so important right now that we all just really look at our relationships, whether it's our lovers or our family or our friends, and say, is this person supporting me energetically, emotionally, spiritually, or is this person taking me down? Is this person adoring me? Am I adoring them? Am I giving them my presence, my time, the best of me? And time is now to let some of those people fall away. And again, it's not just lovers, it's friends, it's family. It's in a beautiful way, not in a like, FU way, in a way that you go, yeah, I just want to start shifting my time away from that vibration and into other vibration. And that might mean that you have to put a little effort into finding new community. Maybe you're going to a meditation studio and you're making conversation with people and you're meeting new friends. And then the next thing you know, you get invited to something else and you get invited to something else. That's also breaking a pattern, because sometimes we just get so comfortable with our friends and we just like, oh, they know us. But if they're not growing with us, which is what's happening right now, then it's time to, just deprioritize them, I guess is a nicer way to say it, because they don't have to completely leave your life. You definitely do not ghost them, nothing like that. Just say, hey, to yourself, like, it's time for me to get into relationships where I feel loved and adored and cherished, and I can do the same for them. And if you're feeling like you're too judgmental on them because they're not in the space you want them to be, then that's the same thing. Then you're projecting a negative energy onto them. And so you want to release them and let them go. There's someone else for them that's better matched for their vibration. So just feel into that and see how that comes forward for you. And if you're still on live, I would love to hear your comments on that and what you're feeling, and if that's hitting the spot for you. The show here, I so appreciate each week that you tune in at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Each week there's so many great questions that come through, and I know that whether it's yours or someone else's, it helps a lot of people. So please tune in again. And in the meantime, there are lots of resources on bethbell.me. There's the Awakening and Healing Handbook. There is the Psychedelics Resource Guide and the Herpes Handbook. All great resources for various reasons, whether you have a virus of the mind or you want to have your next breakthrough on your spiritual journey and you want plant medicines or other psychedelics to help you out, or if you're just wondering about some really great techniques to help you, tips and techniques to help you break through some of the patterns and programming that are holding you back from living your divine blueprint. All right. And if you haven't already done the State of the Heart assessment, you can also go to bethbell.me and get that and get your results. It's fun to see exactly where your heart is. Is it blocked? Is it broken? Is it healing? Or is it whole? And of course, there's also private sessions that you can book on bethbell.me. All right. Until next week, I'm wishing you much bliss and love on the journey. Namaste.